Okay, I don't know anything about anything, but I do know that addiction is a crazy sport. Like, I don't know why I call it a sport, but like, it's crazy. From my own perspective, and also having watched other people live out their addiction, one thing I can confidently say is that it's almost like another energy takes over the body. Like, some of the things that a person does or says trying to get their fix, it's crazy. Like, no shame, but there is some shame around some of the things and the ways that I've existed around my addiction. Like, I've never purposely hurt someone or like anything like that to get my fix, but I've witnessed some things. I've witnessed some people do some things, and it's why I'm able to understand so much, because I know firsthand that it is literally like an energy taking over your body. Like, right now, as we speak, I am on my way to go get some Rillos so that I can later on roll up. And I hadn't technically smoked since yesterday. I found a roach or two. I found two roaches, and I smoked those just a couple moments ago. But I haven't smoked since yesterday. And I don't know, a part of me likes it, a part of me enjoys that, but there's always those withdrawals that really fuck a person over. And I think that's where that other energy comes from, because it's like, nobody wants to experience that. Nobody wants to be sitting in bed and tears are just like flowing from your eyes. Nobody wants to like feel their body working against them, you know? And that's why so many people get caught up when it comes to addiction. It's because it's not just about feeling good. It's not just about like getting a fix. It's also about literally maintaining your energy and maintaining your body. And when you put certain things in your body, it changes your body chemistry, you know? And to some extent, my body is dependent on marijuana, specifically marijuana with tobacco, because I do like I don't know, I guess it's like the nicotine rush, I don't know, but I don't smoke cigarettes, so once again, marijuana with tobacco. And I don't know, I sweat a lot, and I feel like part of the reason why I'm sweating so much is because of withdrawals, because there's a part of my body that's like, no more smoking, we're not smoking. And it's like freaking out. It's like, oh my God, are you serious? Are you fucking with me? Are you joking? You know? And my heart goes out to anybody dealing with addiction of any sort. Like, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's shopping addiction, whether it's like being addicted to porn, like, it's all valid, you know? It's all very destructive. It's all very sad to witness. But, I feel like the only thing that gets me through it is the firm belief and understanding and knowing that things will work out, you know? And I have to like constantly tell myself, just like I tell other people when I get to posting online, like, be patient with yourself, because just the fact that you want better is more than enough, because some people don't even want that. Some people say that they want that, but then they're not even like actually trying to work towards it. And I had to be really real with myself personally yesterday about this whole going sober thing, because I was like, I haven't even really been trying. I have so much access to it. I haven't even really been trying. But technically I have gone a day. It's been a day. And once again, my body reacts so wildly. Like, I remember being in rehab and like telling them that I didn't really experience withdrawals. And I don't know, when it came to meth, I feel like that's true. I feel like I was able to, 9 times out of 10, there were some moments where my body was craving it so badly, where it's possible that those substances were laced, but either way, most of the time when I did that, when I participated, I could put it down and I could stop. Whether I just didn't have any more or whatever. But with this, it's like, oh no, no, we need more. And okay, let me not misspeak, because I did have my moments where I'd definitely was doing the most to get my fix, But for me, my most is just going places I shouldn't be, or waiting around longer than I want to for that. I thank the gods, I thank my lucky stars that I have the relationship that I have with substances, because I witnessed other people and they would lose their minds. They literally nothing else mattered but getting their fix. And I understand. But thankfully I had things that I was working towards. I had goals and ambitions that I was working towards, that I'm still working towards, And if it wasn't for that, I might have lost my way a lot more than I did. If I didn't have the means to keep working towards something. Sorry, my other phone is in my pocket. I was making sure it was okay. But if I didn't have all that shit, I probably would have been lost in the sauce like a lot of the people around me. There's just one person that I think of occasionally. We didn't have the best relationship. I feel like there was some sort of jealousy within him, oh my God, or whatever. Which is a common theme when it comes to being an ambitious person, when it comes to being a bright person. But this was one of the people that I smoked with. We smoked it together occasionally. I smoked him up, he smoked me up, whatever. But one thing about him was that he was a writer. I knew he was a writer. I'm also a writer, if you don't know already. And he, as far as I could tell, had kind of given up on being a writer. I had never once seen him take interest in writing. I knew he was a writer. I think he had told me or something. I don't know. But I never once saw him pick up a book or anything like that. I only ever saw him, fiending, And I think it's a really unfortunate thing that drugs do to our society. It really pushes people off their course. Because, and it doesn't really matter what class you're in. It doesn't matter if you have unlimited access to money or drugs or whatever. It doesn't matter, because it is something that takes up brain space. I am blessed enough to say that when I was doing that, I had so many generous people around me. I had people who were willing to smoke me up, willing to share just because, or whatever. And I don't know, looking back, it's kind of interesting to think about, because I'm a lot of those people probably wanted me to suck their dick or something. But I didn't. I almost never did that. But either way, people were very generous with me. So I always had what I wanted, And that being said, it still took up a lot of my brain space. Even though I didn't have to struggle, I think towards the end of my addiction with that, I did a little bit, because then it started becoming sparse and it was more of a struggle to find. But generally, it wasn't that difficult to find it. But either way, it still took up a lot of my brain space, because I had to get it, I had to secure it, I had to find a way to smoke it, I had to consider if other people were smoking with me or not. If other people were smoking with me, then that was a factor that I had to take into consideration, And it was just this whole mess of a thing. Because then, even when you smoke it, I think drugs work differently for everybody. It's hard to really say that there's a drug that's a one size fits all. No, it affects people differently. Some of the people that I watched do meth, I was why the fuck are you still doing this? I don't understand how it could bring such a feeling to you that you would overlook the fact that it's literally making you lose control of your body. Literally, you look ridiculous. And that's not a judgment call. It is just what it is. If I was doing a drug and it was making me lose control of my body, I would hope to God that I would just stop doing it. I would hope that I would just stop, because I don't need it that badly. Right. And for me, I like, more often than not, was using it to sort of, how do I say, like give me a boost of energy. Like a lot of people say that, like, you know, it helps to wake me up, or like gives me that boost of energy that I need, etc., etc. It also kind of helped with my creativity a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It also helped with my confidence sometimes. Like sometimes it helped with my confidence. Sometimes it like fucked up my confidence, because it made me a lot more aware of myself and like my voice and stuff. So sometimes I would be more interested in talking and being vocal when I was on it. But other times I was just like, okay, no, I need to go within, I need to work on my mental health. And like another thing that saved me, I think majorly, without a doubt, is my propensity, is that the right word? Is my affinity toward mental health and like building my mental health. Like, and I think it's always surprising for people when I talk about it, and I talk about how involved in my mental health I was, because you look at an average meth head, you look at an average crackhead, an average drug head, and you don't really think that they have a lot going on upstairs. You know, and there's something to be said about the spiritual connection with drugs and blah, 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 you know. But I made sure my mind was Gucci. Like, I was always doing affirmations. I was always, you know, tending to my mind. And if it wasn't for that, also, I don't think I would have lasted the way that I did. Because I was really serious. Like, I tell you, like, I shit you not. Like I can't emphasize it enough, because it is my truth. It is the truth. Like, I was very serious about my mental health throughout the addiction. And it helped me, first of all, to have something to focus on other than the drugs, you know, because once again, it takes up a lot of your mental space. Finding the drugs, finding someone to smoke with, finding the tools to smoke with, you know, and then for me, once, I feel like I'm just so ingrained into the idea of mental health that any other way just doesn't make sense. Like, whew, okay, I'm gonna go down here because there's traffic. Whew. But yeah, like, whether or not you are into drugs, whether or not you are into that lifestyle, I would really urge you wholeheartedly to invest in your mental health. Like, I feel like it gets such a bad rap. I feel like it gets such a, like, you know, people are like, I don't want to deal with that, like, woo-woo, like, brain stuff. Like, that shit is stupid. But it does fucking help. 13:33 on the fucking clock as I say this. It helps so much. And I feel like it's definitely helped me to become a more rounded individual. And I could say that about the drug stuff too, like, very confidently. Like, if it wasn't for that experience, I don't think I would have the understanding of how fucked up the world can be. You know, because a lot of the drug stuff goes hand in hand with being homeless. Like, a lot of people who are homeless do a lot of drugs. It just is kind of thing. It helps numb your body. It helps you to forget about your shitty situation, etc., etc. And so it's just a go-to for a lot of homeless people. And I could say a lot about my homeless experience too, in the realm of, like, my mental health and spirituality. I could. But the bottom line is that if you're watching this, if this is making any sense to you, please consider your mental health and the way that you are feeding your mind, okay? I don't listen to affirmations the way I used to when I was homeless, but, like, this was a must. Like, I had to listen to affirmations. I remember one time, this is a really specific moment, and I technically wasn't homeless at this time, but I remember I was walking down the street, and I had affirmations playing in my ear, and I had stumbled upon someone who was more or less pretty life-changing. I didn't allow the connection to go as far as it could when we boil it down, but once again, this was a relatively profound person in my life. And I met them while I was playing affirmations in my ear. And there's a part of me that's like, okay, I'll never know if it was solely because of the affirmations or not, because I was playing affirmations. But it was like a reminder of how important it is to be mindful of, to be mindful, there were people passing, to be mindful of what you are feeding your mind. And I don't know, I feel like it's a kind of annoying message to receive and to absorb, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of mindfulness. It's a lot of, thinking critically about what you are consuming and what you're saying. And I don't know, mindful existence can be a lot. And I remember when I was first awakening or whatever, when I was going through psychosis, I kind of got a glimpse of, I don't know where it came from actually. I mean, it might have been my spirit guides, I guess, but I kind of attribute it to the universe as a whole. But I remember at some point, I got the message of conscious awareness is exhausting. And sometimes I think back to those moments and I'm like, yeah, I understand. At the time I was very confused. I didn't really get what I was being told. I think the universe has learned how to communicate with me better over time in this body. But that was something that stuck with me. Conscious existence is exhausting. It can be exhausting. Constantly being aware of what's coming in and going out of your brain, I am an avid lover of cartoons. I love cartoons. I do. Specifically adult cartoons, but just generally cartoons. Give me a nice cartoon, and I'm Gucci. Specifically, Rick and Morty has been something I've been watching occasionally. If I feel like I have nothing to do and I just kind of want to relax my brain, I'll watch Rick and Morty because it's one of those shows where there's some interesting concepts, some interesting things to think about, but it's also just a cartoon. It's also just a good time, But I don't know. Generally, be wary. Oh, hello. Be wary of your mind. Sorry, that person on the motorcycle had a really nice figure. I wouldn't say I'm super lustful. Oh, but I know, I see you. I'm sorry. Just, yeah. Okay, whatever. I mean, obviously I have to be there. Okay, I'm gonna end this here because I feel like I've talked enough, and so I hope this was helpful, if this was useful. Have a good one, bye.